Okay, so we've got a whole lot of research here on blended learning, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
looks like everyone's trying to figure out if this is just the latest buzzword or the real deal.
Yeah.
So we're diving deep into the work of Kevin Brake,
Yeah.
a real trailblazer in this field, and
That's
he's got some pretty eye-opening insights about how we learn and what the future of learning might
Perfect
actually
genre.
look like.
You know what's so fascinating about Kevin Brake's work is that he doesn't just talk about the theory of blended learning.
Right,
This whole idea of
right,
merging traditional classroom training with technology.
right.
He actually gives you like concrete steps to make it work,
Yes.
which is so important for our listeners out there who are
Right.
trying to not just keep up, but actually excel in their fields.
Exactly.
And maybe even save some time and money on training
Absolutely.
and really make learning work for them on their own terms.
On their own terms, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the dream, right?
that's the dream.
To have learning that actually fits into your life instead of the other way around.
Absolutely.
Now, one of the things that really jumped out at me from Kevin Brake's research
Uh-huh.
is how he tackles this like elephant in the room.
Right.
You know, the fact that so many companies jump on this blended learning bandwagon thinking it's going to be
Yeah.
this magic bullet for saving money,
Right.
but then they kind of hit a wall.
Yeah, it's like you show up to bake a cake
Yeah.
and realize you've got salt instead of sugar.
Oh, yeah.
It's a total disaster.
Total disaster.
What they often overlook are the crucial ingredients for success.
Right?
Like, do your instructors actually buy into this new way of doing things?
Yeah.
Is your network even fast enough to handle all the digital content you're going to be using?
Good point.
Do you have the right software and hardware?
Mm-hmm.
And most importantly,
Yes.
do people even know how to use all of this new stuff?
Yeah. Do they have the skills?
Yeah.
Because it's not enough to just sort of,
Throw technology at the problem.
yeah, throw technology at the problem.
You need a solid plan.
You need a plan.
And Kevin Brake has this fantastic framework
Yes.
for implementing a blended learning strategy.
Okay.
And it all starts with this really insightful first step.
All right, I'm listening.
Analyze how you're currently delivering content.
Okay.
Take a good hard look at those training materials and processes you're using. What's working, what's not, where are the pain points?
Identify those bottlenecks.
Exactly.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting.
Right.
Kevin Brake actually recommends getting your instructors involved in this process.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, don't just dictate changes from on high.
Yeah.
Tap into their expertise.
Yes.
And get them excited about the potential of blended learning.
Yes.
He suggests having like brainstorming sessions where instructors can share their ideas and feedback.
Yeah, what a great idea.
What do you think about that?
That's crucial for getting buy-in.
Uh-huh.
By involving instructors from the very beginning, you're not just telling them what to do, that you're inviting them to be part of the solution.
Be part of the process.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And speaking of buy-in,
Okay.
another smart move Kevin Brake recommends is to start small
Okay.
with a pilot project.
All right.
That way you can work out any kinks,
Yeah.
gather feedback, build some momentum before you roll it out on a larger scale.
Don't try to boil the ocean.
Right.
Start with a cup of tea.
Exactly.
Sally.
All right,
Make
so
it manageable.
I know a lot of people are probably wondering, like,
Yeah.
what does this blending actually look like in practice?
Right.
Does it mean we're replacing all in-class sessions with online modules?
Not necessarily.
Uh,
Kevin Brake actually gives us a range of options to blend traditional and digital learning effectively.
Right.
He suggests maybe replacing some in-class sessions with virtual ones,
Okay.
using shared online document libraries instead of those outdated hard copies,
Oh, yeah.
shifting to online testing and attendance tracking.
You could even have people do some pre-work online,
Uh-huh.
like reading materials or tackling some interactive scenarios
Now that's interesting.
before they even step foot in a classroom.
Wow. Okay.
Think about how much time that could save you.
Yeah, I'm starting to see the appeal here.
Right.
It's not just about convenience.
No.
It's about being smarter with how we use our time
Absolutely.
and our technology.
It's about working smarter, not harder.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
But can you give me a concrete example?
Sure.
Like, I need to be able to picture this.
Okay.
How does this actually work in the real world?
One of the most memorable examples
Okay.
Kevin Brake talks about is a donut making course.
A donut making course.
Now I know what you're thinking.
Donuts.
Donuts.
Okay.
But hear me out.
Okay, I'm listening.
It's a great example of how even a seemingly straightforward course
Okay.
can be broken down and blended effectively.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Right.
So how do they blend the donut making course?
Okay, so think about it. all the initial theory behind the recipe, the
Right.
ingredients,
Yeah.
the equipment,
Right.
that can all be moved online.
Okay.
Participants can learn at their own pace.
Yeah.
Watch videos demonstrating techniques,
That's
even
sweet.
take quizzes to check their understanding.
Oh, that's smart.
Right.
Yeah.
And this frees up the in-class time
Yes.
for what really matters.
Okay.
Hands-on practice,
Uh-huh.
getting feedback from the instructor in real time,
Yeah.
troubleshooting any issues as they arise.
So the in-person time becomes much more focused
Exactly.
and valuable.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Plus, if you're someone who likes to move at a faster pace, you're not held back by others.
Right.
If you need more time to grasp a concept, you can take it.
You can take your time.
It's about making learning work for you.
I like that a lot.
Right.
Now, one of the things Kevin Brake keeps coming back to is this idea of a blended learning portal.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly is that?
Okay, so imagine having a central hub for all your course information, regardless of the format.
All right.
Think program overviews,
Yeah.
checklists, assignments, discussion boards where you can connect with other people taking the course,
Oh, cool.
contact details for your instructors,
Right.
schedules everything you need to be successful all in one place.
So it's like a one-stop shop for learning.
Exactly.
Okay. I can see how that would make things so much easier
Right.
and organized.
And organized.
But isn't that a lot of work to set up?
Well,
Especially if a course isn't fully blended yet.
that's where Kevin Brake's forward-thinking approach comes in.
Okay.
He believes that all courses should have a blended learning portal,
Wow.
even if they aren't fully blended yet,
Really?
like laying the foundation for the future of learning within your organization.
Interesting. So it's about being proactive
Exact.
and creating a framework that can evolve
Yes.
as technology and our learning needs change.
Absolutely.
Now, before we move on to the next part of our deep dive, I want to go back to something Kevin Brake said that really made me think.
Okay.
He asked, wondering what will happen to authors when everything can be written by an LLM chatbot.
Ooh, that is a provocative question.
Right.
Yeah, it really gets to the heart of how AI is changing the landscape of education.
Yeah. We'll definitely be unpacking that in the next part of our deep dive.
For sure.
We'll explore how artificial intelligence, specifically these LLMs, might impact the role of instructors in a blended learning world.
Yes.
We'll also dive into some of the practical challenges of implementing these changes.
Can't wait.
Stay tuned.
Stay with us.
Yeah.
So welcome back to our deep dive into blended learning. And before we jumped into the next part, we were talking about Kevin Brake's question.
Yeah, that one about what happens to authors and instructors when AI enters the scene.
Right.
That one really got me thinking.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's asking if teachers are about to become obsolete with the rise of these powerful AI tools that can just create all this content,
Yeah.
like seemingly out of thin air.
It's a valid question and
Yeah.
one that we need to approach with careful consideration.
Yeah,
Kevin specifically mentioned LLM chatbots,
right,
which, for those who might not be familiar, stand for large language models.
right.
They're a type of artificial intelligence that can understand and generate human-like text.
Mm-hmm.
We're not just talking about simple sentences here.
No.
These things can write articles, stories, even code.
It's pretty amazing.
It is, so it's natural to wonder what that means for the future of education,
Right.
where creating and delivering content is at the heart of what we do.
Yeah, I think it's easy to get caught up in all the hype and assume that robots are going to replace teachers tomorrow.
Right.
But I also think that what Kevin Brake is doing is he's prompting us to consider how technology can actually enhance education.
I agree.
You know?
It's not about technology versus humans.
Yeah.
It's about finding that optimal blend
Right.
where both complement each other.
Right. So finding that sweet spot.
Exactly. And that's where blended learning comes in. It's about taking the best of both worlds and creating a more engaging and effective learning experience.
So how can we actually use AI in a way that benefits learners? Like, I'm having trouble wrapping my head around what that would look like in the real world.
Think about it this way.
Okay.
Imagine an AI that could create a personalized learning pathway for each student
Okay.
based on their individual needs and learning styles.
Wow.
It could adjust the pace of the content, provide tailored feedback, even suggest additional resources that might be helpful.
So it's like having a virtual tutor for every student.
Exactly.
Okay, now that's something I can get behind.
Right.
Personalized learning at scale, that's a game changer.
It is.
What else can these LLMs do in a blended learning environment?
They could create adaptive assessments that adjust in difficulty based on how a student is performing.
Okay.
This ensures that everyone is challenged appropriately, and helps identify areas where someone might need more support. They could also help automate some of those more tedious tasks that teachers often have to deal with,
Oh, yeah.
like grading multiple choice quizzes or providing basic feedback on writing assignments.
So it's not about replacing teachers altogether.
Right.
It's about giving them superpowers
Exactly.
by freeing up their time.
Yes.
And allowing them to focus on those uniquely human aspects of teaching that AI just can't replicate.
Absolutely. Things like facilitating discussions, mentoring students,
Yeah.
providing emotional support.
Yeah.
Now, those are all things that require empathy, creativity, and adaptability qualities that machines simply haven't mastered yet.
Yeah, I think Kevin Brake would wholeheartedly agree with you on that.
I think so, too.
You know, his entire approach to blended learning is about finding that sweet spot where technology enhances the learning experience,
Right.
not replaces the human element.
Right. And it's also important to remember that blended learning isn't a one-size-fits-all solution.
No.
What works for one organization or even one learner might not work for another.
Right. You got to be flexible.
You've got to be flexible, adaptable, and willing to experiment to find the right blend.
So speaking of finding the right blend,
Yes.
let's shift gears and talk about Kevin Brake's advice on creating a successful blended learning portal.
Okay.
Remember, he recommends every course have a portal, even if it's not fully blended yet.
Yeah.
What are some of his key recommendations for designing a portal that's both effective and user-friendly? I'm ready to get into the nitty-gritty.
He stresses the importance of structure.
Okay.
It's like building a house. You need a solid foundation and a well-thought-out floor plan.
Right.
Okay, so think about it this way. You walk into this portal, what's the first thing you see?
Okay.
Kevin Brake suggests starting with a program overview page.
All right.
This gives learners a bird's eye view of the course,
Uh-huh.
what they'll be learning, how it's structured, and what they can expect.
So it's like setting the stage
Exactly.
and providing some context.
Yes, and then you've got the checklist page,
Okay.
which helps learners stay on track and make sure they're completing all the necessary steps.
Like a roadmap for success.
Exactly, a roadmap for success. Next up is the assignments page,
Okay.
where learners can find details about all the tasks they need to complete both online and offline.
Of course, we can't forget about the importance of community and collaboration.
Right, so you'd want to include a discussion board
Yeah.
where learners can connect with each other, ask questions, and share their insights.
Yeah, it's a great place for the instructor to chime in
Absolutely.
and provide guidance.
Exactly. And speaking of the instructor, how do we make sure they feel included and supported in this new blended environment?
Yeah, that's important.
Well, Kevin Brake suggests including a dedicated page for instructor information,
Okay.
contact details, office hours, maybe even a short bio to help learners feel more connected.
Oh, that's a nice touch.
Right. And then you've got the schedule page outlining the timing and sequence of all course activities.
So it's like a master calendar that keeps everyone on the same page.
It's exactly a master calendar. Now, I can already hear people saying this all seems very complicated.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
I'm not a tech person.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to create all of this?
Exactly.
And that's why Kevin Brake emphasizes the importance of user-friendly design.
Yeah.
The portal needs to be intuitive, easy to navigate, and visually appealing.
And I'd add that it should have consistent branding.
Yes.
It should feel like a natural extension of your organization's overall identity.
Exactly. Now, here's a pro tip from Kevin Brake. When you're designing this portal,
Okay.
think about the needs of your instructors as well as your learners.
Oh, that's such a good point.
It's easy to get so focused on the student experience that we forget about the people who are actually delivering the content.
Yeah, so how do we make the portal instructor friendly? What would that look like?
Kevin Brake recommends creating a dedicated instructor view within the portal.
Okay.
This gives instructors access to all the resources they need to manage the course track student progress, provide feedback.
Yeah.
It's like having a backstage pass to the learning experience.
And it makes the instructor's job so much easier
Exactly.
and more efficient.
It's all about empowering instructors to do their best work.
I like that.
Right.
Empowering instructors.
Now, one final point that Kevin Brake emphasizes is the importance of ongoing support and training.
Right. You can't just launch a blended learning portal and expect everyone to know how to use it.
Exactly. It's like giving someone a fancy new car without teaching them how to drive.
A perfect analogy.
Right. So Kevin Brake recommends offering regular training sessions for both instructors and learners, providing clear documentation and tutorials, and setting up a dedicated support channel where people can get help when they need it.
So it's about creating a culture of continuous learning and improvement,
Absolutely.
where everyone feels supported and empowered to succeed.
Well said. Now, while those are all key considerations for successful implementation, you know. It's rarely that simple.
Right, because we're dealing with real people.
Yes.
With real concerns and hesitations about change.
Absolutely. And that's what we'll delve into in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay.
The human side of implementing blended learning. We'll explore those potential challenges and how to address them effectively.
Sounds good. I'm ready for it.
Stay tuned.
All right, so welcome back to our deep dive.
Part 3.
Into the world of blended learning.
That's right.
And we've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
From exploring Kevin Brake's framework.
Yes.
To the potential impact of AI.
Yeah.
But as we all know, putting theory into practice isn't always smooth sailing.
Absolutely. Kevin Brake doesn't shy away from those real-world challenges of implementing blended learning.
Right.
And one of the biggest hurdles that he highlights is this fear that technology will replace jobs.
Yeah, I can see that makes sense. It's natural for people to be concerned about their livelihoods.
Right.
Especially when new technologies emerge.
Of course.
Imagine you're an instructor who's been teaching the same way for years, and suddenly you're told to embrace online modules and AI tools.
Right.
That could feel really unsettling.
Absolutely. And that's why Kevin Brake suggests framing blended learning as an opportunity for instructors to actually become even more valuable.
Yeah, okay.
He argues that by leveraging technology, instructors can free up their time for those higher-level tasks like mentoring and coaching.
Right.
And creating those deeper learning experiences that really make a difference.
So instead of seeing technology as a threat, instructors can view it as a way to enhance their skills.
Exactly.
And focus on the aspects of teaching that they truly excel at.
Yes. It's like trading in that rusty old tool for a state-of-the-art upgrade.
I like that.
You're still the expert.
Yeah.
But now you have the means to do even better work.
Now, another common challenge that comes up is this lack of technical skills.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a big one.
Some instructors might feel intimidated by new technologies or simply lack the confidence to use them effectively.
Yeah, I think we've all had those moments where we're faced with a new piece of software, and it's just like,
oh, totally.
Where do I even begin?
Yeah, where do we even start? So how do we help instructors overcome these hurdles?
Oh, Kevin Brake stresses the importance of providing ongoing professional development opportunities.
Okay.
So this could involve workshops specifically designed for instructors to get hands-on experience with the technology, online tutorials that they can access at their own pace.
Nice.
And even peer-to-peer mentoring.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Where tech-savvy instructors can kind of share their knowledge and support their colleagues.
Yeah, that peer-to-peer mentoring is fantastic because it creates this community of support.
Yes.
Where everyone feels comfortable asking questions and learning from each other.
Absolutely. And it takes away that feeling of being thrown into the deep end.
Exactly. Okay, so when we're choosing technology for blended learning, we need to prioritize user-friendliness.
Oh, for sure.
Don't overwhelm instructors with these complex systems right out of the gate.
No, start simple.
Yeah.
Start with tools that are intuitive and easy to learn, and then you can gradually introduce more advanced features. Yeah, as their skills and confidence grow.
Exactly. It's like learning to swim. You wouldn't start someone off in the ocean with huge waves crashing around them.
Oh my gosh.
You would start in a calm pool, get them comfortable with the basics, and then gradually introduce more challenging environments as they progress.
Perfect analogy.
Now, another key strategy that Kevin Brake recommends for smooth implementation is starting with a pilot program.
Okay.
So instead of trying to overhaul your entire training program overnight, choose one course. Work with a small group of instructors who are excited about the idea. And use that experience to learn, gather feedback, and refine your approach before you roll it out on a larger scale.
It's a smart way to test the waters. Figure out what works and build that buy-in from both the instructors and the learners.
And success breeds confidence. And encourages others to kind of jump on board.
Absolutely. But, beyond these practical strategies,
Kevin Brake points out that successful blended learning implementation requires this fundamental shift in mindset.
Yes. It's not just about adopting new technologies.
Right.
It's about embracing a new way of thinking about teaching and learning.
Okay. I'm intrigued. What does this new way of thinking look like?
Well, it's about moving away from that traditional sage on the stage model where the instructor is the sole source of knowledge. And moving towards a more collaborative, learner-centered approach.
Okay.
So instead of lecturing at students, instructors become facilitators, guides mentors
Yeah.
who empower learners to take more ownership of their education.
So it's less about passively absorbing information
Right.
and more about actively engaging with it.
It's exactly.
Experimenting, asking questions, and collaborating with peers.
Absolutely. And technology can play a powerful role in facilitating this shift.
Yeah.
It allows learners to access information at their own pace, explore different learning pathways, receive personalized feedback, and connect with others in ways that simply wouldn't be possible in a traditional classroom setting.
Yeah, it sounds like this blended approach really amplifies the human element of teaching.
It does.
And makes learning more engaging, personalized, and effective.
Yes.
For everyone involved.
And that's the essence of Kevin Brake's message.
Yeah.
Blended learning isn't a magic bullet.
No.
But it is a powerful tool that can help us create a more adaptable, future-ready approach to education that meets the evolving needs of both learners and instructors.
Well said. And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the world of blended learning, guided by the wisdom of Kevin Brake.
It's been quite a journey.
We've explored the benefits, the challenges, and the practical steps that you can take to make blended learning a success in your own organization.
Absolutely.
Now, we encourage you to continue exploring this exciting field. There are a ton of resources available online and in your community to support your blended learning journey. And if you're eager to take that next step and delve deeper into the world of blended learning, we highly recommend checking out a certain website or resource here.
It's a great resource.
It's a fantastic starting point for anyone looking to transform their approach to education.
For sure.
And as always, we want to hear from you.
Yes.
What resonated with you most during this deep dive?
What are your thoughts?
What questions are still swirling in your mind?
Let us know.
Don't forget to leave a comment and share your thoughts.
We love hearing from you.
Until next time, keep diving deep and keep those brains engaged.
See you later, Ray.